Beautiful. Just like that, we're back. Just like that, we're back. All right, guys. Post it up in Discord. Do what you want. Because gotta load these images up. Gotta load them up. Are you ready? Are we ready for the new reveals of the day? After these reveals, I'm going to take a quick break and I'll have these posted online too. So if you're not here watching them, they'll still be online. But are we ready? First one. Mirror Hall. Mind you, it is a location, so we have as much location to hit on this. But instead of discarding, move your elemental buffs to your hand. That is insane. That is so good. First of all, yes, this art is awesome. This art is amazing. But this looks so cool. Now, they look like generic rock guys, but from this distance, we're looking at the hall, not the characters, so I'm okay with this. But yeah, instead of discarding, move your elemental buffs to your hand. They don't get stored under Mirror Hall. They get put back to your hand. So the next 4 elemental buffs passes. It does pass both tests for me. What's an artifact to 7 Flame Chain Warriors? I don't know. I don't know. But the fact that it's clunky corners and not just, circular rotations means that it's going to stay out there for 4 elemental buffs. Mind you, if it was rounded corners, you could probably set this up to get a lot more back. But I'm fine if you just get 4 elemental buffs back to your hand. I'm A-okay with that. I'm A-okay with just getting 4 back. Yeah, that's the thing. Blast Bot. We already have as much location hit on it as possible. We know that. We know it's a thing. But this is really good. This is really strong. To be able to return 4 elemental buffs to your hand, especially if we're getting a lot of stuff in Mountain alone that is able to rotate your elemental buffs like 1 or 2 steps forward, splash time into your already elemental 4-corner buff deck or whatever, and really cycle through your buffs to get them to rotate out really quick. Mirror Hall is an insanely powerful card. This is insanely powerful. This is an Howlock set, I think. It could be. It could be. We did just see a Howlock. I'm not sure. Was Howlock 7? But yeah, Mirror Hall looks insanely strong. Insanely strong. This and Bacchus could be cool. Who needs Magma Potter anymore? Yeah, right? I mean, the fact that it has burn obviously means you can't return it and do fun stuff with it, but it's just a really generically strong and powerful card, and I love it. I think this is a very well-designed card. Mind you, like I said, all the location hate is incoming. Tech is going to be so strong this set. They really needed to switch out location hate to at least a few other orders to make it so that tech was not the be-all, end-all answer to locations. Why didn't Mud get a reveal this good? Dude, I thought Mud got an amazing reveal. Mud got some amazing reveals. Because it's RG. I don't know what to say. I thought Mud got some really nice, amazing reveals. Dude, Mirror Hall, it looks insane. Mirror Hall looks really good, really powerful. And once again, it works with the elemental families, which means that you can splice Crystal in, which is the tech color, into a lot of the other orders. And outside of Mountain, you can utilize this Yeah, with Tyrannos. Mind you, it just says instead of discarding, not when they expire. That's another very good thing to remember about this card, is when it's discarding it. So when it's removed, or people can remove your buff, no, it goes back to my hand. Which means this actually now that I'm thinking about this, in Mountain alone, there's a crystal card that says your location buffs can't be removed, and your opponent has to attack you with a few times. So if you have that out with Mirror Hall, and then your elemental buffs, you can eat them with Tyrannos. Yeah, and exactly, just return them to your hand, and then put them out. This is super strong. This is super strong. Yeah, Tyrannos is going to love this card. That's a very good point, OFC. But, oh man, Mirror Hall is... I think Mirror Hall is really good. Corodius being good. Yeah. Put Mirror Hall down. Discard. Oh, it's a elemental buff. Okay, I'll just add that to my hand instead. Finally, Corodius is getting some good cards. Next one we have is the Mudwing Dealer. A Chimchou in Mountain, you say? I say yes. Hey guys. You want to buy some potions? Huh? Got some potions here. Want to buy some potions? He's like that really shady guy you find in a back alley, but he's super old, so he's kind of friendly. Gain 1 additional action. When you play an elemental card, heal for 2 and deal 1 damage to your opponent, or 1 damage to your target. That's cool. That's really cool. First of all, there's a lot of ways to return Earth buffs with the... Magma Potter returns elemental cards now, doesn't it? Not just Earth cards. But yeah, you gain 1 additional action when it comes into play. Whenever you play an elemental card, heal for 2 and 1 damage to your target. This is great with Mirror Hall. Mirror Hall is only elemental buffs, so not just elemental cards. So kind of. But whenever you play an elemental card, heal for 2 and deal 1 damage to your target. That's really good. With all the elemental stuff that we'll be doing, Mudwing Dealer, I think, is going to find a really nice place, especially just getting additional action coming into play. I think it's going to find a really nice place. Throw this down, Ritual Sight, 8 damage, +7/+7 in some circumstances. Yeah. But, Mudwing Dealer, I think is just a really solid card. I think Mudwing Dealer is just a really solid card. Obviously only going to be used in elemental styles. What about in Tuck 2 with Suntop Gallery? It's Earth, and it's a Chimchou. So being able to be played with Chimchus and elementals could be interesting to do with Solar and Gravity. Could be very interesting to do with all that. But yeah, I think Mudwing Dealer is really nice. With Earth, I'm trying to think like where else you would play it. You maybe want to splash Earth into Storm and play some Elemental Storm with some of this fun stuff. I'm trying to think. In Dread, the Elementals don't really... When you play them, it's nice, but you want to trigger abilities with them. Magrock? Oh, yeah. Magrock, yeah. First of all, get an additional action. Then the elementals that are coming from poison or... Yeah, could be very good in Magrock. Yeah. Heal for 2 and deal 1 damage. Yeah. Well, yeah, Magrock's new ability, you don't get the consistent healing off of the 1 ping. But, yeah, Mudwing Dealer when you're low could be really good. Could be really good. I like it. I like it a lot. Next one. Finally, guys, the Mark III is here. And let me tell you why this is so much better than the Mark I and Mark II. The first line of text reads, "This cannot be removed by other heroes." First 3. Mind you, there's 3 clunky corners, but it can't be removed by other heroes. That's insane. That's what we really wanted on these 4-corner buffs. With Flame Chained Elder and out, this also gets increased by 3. Yeah. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. When corners 1 to 3, when one of your 4-corner buffs expires, rotate this 1 step forward. So once again, fitting that really nice archetype of doing the 4-corner buffs. Fitting the 4-corner archetype that Mountain has been always trying to push, but was always more of a meme. We finally have something that helps that. Do I still think Warp Toad needs a nerf? Yes. Anything that returns a combo buff is insane. Hey, I'll go ahead and lay this, and then I'll return it on the 20, and then I'll lay it again next turn. Yeah, Mountain Breakers. Exactly. You can also, like I said, rotate your 4-corner buffs a lot faster with this. And then corner 4, 20 damage. Like Prism Cannon MK3 is going to be an all-star combo buff in the 4-corner archetype buff of Mountain. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. With all of the cards that we're getting to rotate not only your elementals forward quicker with Mountain, but just splicing time into this to use with your oh my god, cannot think of it. Why can't I think of it? What's the time boomerang thing? Oh my word, Fatal Zeph, help me. Fatal Zeph. You can splash Crystal into Astral. You very well could. You very well could. This card is just so good. I love this buff. It fits the archetype perfectly of what you want to do. It's not going to be run in every deck. It's not going to be the new Treetop Tribunal. It's not. But you're going to run it in the deck. CC into Vandal. Crystal Core, right? But you're going to run it in the deck with 4-corner buffs. And you're going to manipulate the crud out of it. And then Prism Cannon, you're just going to sit there going, wow, this is going to be a huge OTK shot. I build Crystal Vandal. This with Clock Smasher Crud. You could. Because it's only a condition rotate. You could crud this thing all the way to 20 if you wanted to. Yeah, the new Flynamo. That's the card. Flynamo. Yeah. No, this looks insane. This is insane. Flynamo's action. Yeah, but you rotate your 4-corner buffs, which are the action buffs, forward. You don't rotate the Prism Cannon. You rotate your 4-corner buffs. 2 of them at once. You just have those things fly out of here. This looks really fun. And literally, it's because of this one buff. Just because of this one buff makes me think that the 4-corner archetype is going to be viable. Because of this one buff. Because your 4-corner ones, I mean, let's think of it. You rotate 2 Prism Cannons and then get this on top. That's 36 damage if they can't do anything. So far, we have 3 incredible cards from RG. And like, dude, Terror Shot, I was just given these cards, okay? I didn't say, hey, I want to look at the entire card pool. I'll pick the ones I want to do, okay? We're all getting some amazing cards. These are awesome. Crystal Warper only works for buff phase. Vandal gets an OTK with this. Oh, man. Does it really? Does it really? Oh, that's nuts. Yeah, but Gravity Bubble, what it would do is Gravity Bubble would spin it to the 4th corner, and then the 4th corner would immediately expire this before it could restart. So you could spin it to the 4th corner, but you could not restart it because it immediately expires once it hits the 20. It's okay. It's fine. I'm still going to break the game. It's fine. It's okay. Don't worry. It's still going to kill you. Just play Planetary Alignment for 32. There you go. That's all you need. Planetary Alignment for 32. There you go. You guys are insane. Yeah, but Prism Cannon Mark III looks insane. So much better than Prism Cannon Mark II. That was just 4-corner for 16. but could be removed. It fell flat on everything it was meant to do. That Prism Cannon Mark III is just so good. Does Reality Rift bring combo buffs into play, or is it just action cards now? I thought it was just action cards. Is it combo buffs again? Any buffs. Wow. Okay. Never mind. I knew it got rid of. I wasn't sure if it was action buffs or not. But that's awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, Prism Cannon Mark III. This buff gets me really happy to think that the four corner buff archetype that Mountain is trying to do actually has potential because of this one card. It's any buff that, but they removed the one draw. Oh, okay. Yeah, Vandal can rotate any buff. As long as you played a combo for it, you can rotate any buff. That's so nuts. That's so nuts. But yeah, this looks really good. Why play Mountain and Vandal can skip it? That's the thing, Fatal Zeph. We're all thinking of how to use this card. You're thinking of how to break this card. That's like the Fatal Zeph way of thinking. He's like, oh, this card is really good. You can run Prism Cannons, you can run all these things. And then Fatal Zeph is like, I bet I can find a way to make this only say one line of text that really matters, and that's to deal 20 damage. Let's go do that. Reminiscence into someone else's Reality Rift into Prism Cannon. You know it, right? Bring back 2 Prism Cannons and a Prism Cannon Mark III. Spin those things for days. Oh, it'd be so good. So good. You could even run this in oh god, is it Alara that spins a buff, and if it shares an adjacent style with it, you get to spin a buff next to it, so you can spin a combo off that way. Reality Rift with her in this. You get Prism Cannon to its 8 by the time this gets to its last corner, so you do 28. Yeah. Yeah. Just break the game all at once. Break it. Bring back one Prism Cannon and one Prism Cannon Mark II and one Prism Cannon Mark III. Have the entire board set up to where you... Yeah, Onyx gets a nice combo. Yeah, this fits really well with Onyx. I'm not sure how many 4-corner buff Onyx has. I know Onyx in his mill archetype only had like maybe 3 corners. I'm not sure how many 4 corners he's got. Your Power Hoarder Alara can use this. Dude, this oh, I love this card. This buff is so good. This buff is so good. All right, on to the next ones. We have Caliph Swarm, a new type of insect. First of all, the art has great depth. The detail on the creatures. This art is good. This art is good. Discard the top 3 cards from your and your target's deck. Heal yourself and damage your target equal to the number of attack cards among them. Guys, does this card not immediately scream the mill yourself insect archetype that I want to play so badly? Because it does to me. It does to me. And there's so many new insect attack cards that we're getting that this card fits my archetype that I want to build so badly. Me and my opponent both mill for 3. And then I heal and deal depending on how many attacks we both had. That is such an insane card. That is such an insane card. And it's an insect, mind you, it's an insect defend. But I just want to just play my insects. I want to get my deck into my discard pile so fast. All I want to do is that. All I want is that. You can splash Spirit now into Astral Mill and run some of this stuff, and it'll be insane. New Astral Nature Hero Mill. Dude, if Onyx was Soul instead of Spirit, or instead of Crystal, I think Onyx would be insane. There are so many good Soul cards that mill you and your opponent. That, yeah, Caliph Swarm just looks really good. Obviously, it's only going to be good in certain archetypes, but in that archetype, it's a powerhouse of a card. There is a Solar Lunar hero. Oh, there's a Solar Lunar Soul hero? Oh, no, I thought she was Animal, Forest, Gravity. Lotus Suncaller. Wait, really? Because I knew we got a new mythic hero with those 3 that her power was utilized on beasts. It's Solar Lunar Soul. No way. No way. Well, guys. Time to build mill out of her. Ooh. But yeah, Callous Swarm looks so much fun. I cannot wait to build my insect self-mill archetype that I want to. And this card is going right in. I'm getting 3 of these in there all day, every day. It looks so much fun. Oh, Callous Swarm is amazing. But it must be... Let me see if I can find her, because she was revealed a while ago. I could have sworn she was 2 nature like Farapang was. I could have sworn. Every Astro Mythic turns into Astro Mill. Well, it's because that's what Astral is right now. Is Astro Mill. Where is that hero? I gotta find that hero now. Because so far we have 3 mythic heroes revealed, right? We have the Mountain Dread. We just had the Dread Storm. And we have the Astral Nature. Oh, there she is, yeah. No, yeah, she's Solar Lunar Soul. If your last discarded card is Nature, increase damage done by your Astral Bust by 1. Never mind, she's not beast specific. She's not beast specific. Lotus Suncaller looks insane. Oh, did you want to know? Prism MK3 is set 5. Shadowbond Comet, that works with the elementals, right? Shadowbond Comet is more elemental hero, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta go up and find her in Mud's list. Or find him, or it, or whatever you want to call it. No, it works with Umbron and Artifacts. That's what it is. Umbron and Artifacts. Yeah, this one just works with Nature and Astral. Kind of the way that Blooming Scorch does. But, yeah, Lotus Suncaller looks like it could be a really fun mill deck, too. You can use her with the 4/4/4 buff. Damage when your enemy discards increased by 1 with Nature on top. You can use her with the 4/4/4 buff. Damage when your enemy discards increase. Wait, what? Terror Shock, what's the name of this buff? Is it a new one? Wilderness Judge it? I gotta find this now. It was the first card in the playstyle post. Alright, I gotta look at this card. Oh, Wilderness Judge. Okay, I was looking in Nature for it. Yeah, whenever your target discard or cards are discarded by a card effect, deal damage to them. Each card that causes a discard can only trigger this once per turn. Yeah. Yeah. Wilderness Judge with the Callous Swarm. Mind you, this will only trigger once, not 3 for 3 cards being discarded. But yeah, Wilderness Judge can increase it by 1. She looks like she's gonna be a mill. She looks like she's gonna be a really strong mill archetype with Callous Swarm, and I can't wait to do it. Also, Blinding Beetle is an insect, and it's solar, so we're fine on that. I think Duskfeeder is also an insect, which is lunar. I'm okay with that. Gotta love my insects, man. Insects are everywhere, and I cannot wait to build a mill. There's so many fun self-milling archetypes and just mill in general that I cannot wait to get my hands on. Oh, man. Yeah, Wilderness Judge looks insane. The Starbound Explorer, whenever they discard a card and restart this, fits with her as well. Oh, there's so much good. So much good. Is this the first or one after? This is the first one after Mark III. So this is the first Nature one I've revealed. We have no idea what Blinding Beetle is, though. That's true. We don't. Actually, I think it says Blinding Beetle is just to move 2 attack cards back into the deck. I don't think it applies healing anymore. I think that Benny did say it took the healing out, and it's just to move 2 attack cards back. Which, if you move your hands back into your deck and then you mill the deck, it's better than discarding. Weevil Underwood entered the arena. Dude, right? I cannot wait for Insect Mill, man. It's coming. It's coming. All right, next one we have Duskglade Mercenary. 3 damage. Select a family you haven't played. Remove 1 buff of that family from the recipient. Oh, guys, did Nature get another buff removal? Oh, now mind you, not every deck is going to run this. It's probably going to be best used in a deck that has a lot of families to utilize. But, hey, I have a location out. I'm going to remove a location buff. Hey, I for some reason have a robot in my Nature deck. I'm going to remove a robot. This is really good. It's in animal, and it's 3 damage, but you have to have the family out of your own, which is kind of what Nature does as well. Yeah, Nature got a Blast Bot. I think he said it in the interview. Yeah, Nature's getting a lot more buff removal as well. But, dude, this looks insane. This looks insane. Mind you, like, the fact that this doesn't have restricted is really weird. Because, like, all these new buff removal cards, I'd be okay getting restricted on them. I would. I'd be A-okay getting restricted on them. So that we wouldn't have, like, a major control archetype where you just have really strong buff removals. But this is awesome. This is awesome. Yeah, if I have a location out, this becomes a Blast Bot. If I have an insect out, this becomes a Hive Flusher, in a sense. If I've got... there's Chimchuu, actually, in Nature now. If I've got a Chimchuu buff, if I've got that Duskglade out, I can remove a Chimchuu. Yeah, and it's got no burn either. Like, this is really good. Yeah, Nature has Undead. I can remove Undead. So much for a buff meta? No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that because, mind you, this has no family. You have to have a buff out of your own. So it'll really help Nature fill in the I have more buffs than you in one spot. Wait, that involves a discard? Oh, Tribe Infecting Virus? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, Elemental. It removes Elemental buffs now. Nature has almost all the families in it, if I'm not mistaken. It has Creebles, so it can remove Creebles. I don't think it has Umbrons. But you can just put in some unaligned stuff. Yeah, Duskglade Mercenary is really good for control-y archetypes, if you're going for a widespread family. But yeah, run it in Adriok. You could run this in Adriok. It doesn't have Umbrons or robots or machines that we know of. Yeah, I think those are the only 3. But you can easily pull Machine from Unaligned. You could easily pull Umbron from Unaligned. I'm not sure if there's an Unaligned robot. I'm not sure if there is. But yeah, if you wanted to have a deck of all the families and then have Duskglade Mercenary in there, go for it. Do whatever you got to do. It'll probably be a really bad deck if you're trying to just play around Duskglade Mercenary because there's no win condition. But it's good. It offers Nature a way to tech in some certain circumstances around other things. It's very conditional tech where you have to like hope that you get the right buff out in play to use this. No, it does. There's the Umbron Brute. I do know that one. I know some of these cards. But yeah, I think Duskglade Mercenary is a really, really good card. It might be too potent and too strong, especially since you can splash animal into every order and then have another buff removal. This is where my fear of this happening again is with this card. We're gonna go back into the attack and defend only because of how good buff removal is. I personally think that this should have some sort of restricted keyword on it as well. That's what I think. Is because of this, you could still, you could run 3 of these, 3 of Reckless Spirits, and then 3 Loot Snatchers, and you have 9 cards in there that could remove buffs. And that's where I'm sitting there going, like, that once again goes into the fact that you just don't play buffs to play around those cards. And we then start to dwindle back into the buffless aggro style of gameplay again. Which kind of scares me a little bit, that there is no restriction on these kind of things. Besides, no sane person would combo OTK into Umbron Brute. And the Astral Nature combo. I mean, that's the thing. Is like, that's where I'm coming from. Then it's 11 buff removals. Yeah, exactly. You have 11 buff removals, which then once again incentivizes people to then play Aglet or buffless aggro if they're very heavy on buff removal. Because then if Treetop Tribunal's still there, you can still play OTK Nature really well. In the style that it did before, where it just stalled out and then just like killed you with heavy hitting combos. So that's my only fear. I really like the design of this card. I think it's really cool. But without some sort of restriction on this secondary buff removal, without something like that on the secondary buff removal, I think that if we don't put a control on it, we're going to see ourselves slowly dwindling back into the buffless aggro meta that we were in and we didn't like. And it's because it's going to become cards like this, like Blastbot, like Duskblade Mercenary, like all those things that are extra buff removal is going to lead back into that. And that's kind of what I'm afraid of. As much as I love the design of these cards, this is what I'm kind of afraid of. Do you think it should be 2 damage? I don't think the damage is really the point here. I think it's the fact that it's another buff removal that you can have. That's the thing. Do I think it should be 2 damage? No, because a lot of the other family buff removal is 3 damage. And that's actually fine. I'm fine with that. It's 3 damage. To have a specific family buff removal. I think this should all be around 3 damage, like Blastbot is. I don't know why some of them are 4 damage. I really don't. Because 4 damage is a very generic damage that you would always run that in everything, and then why not run a conditional buff removal just in case? I think they should all be 3 damage where it's subpar damage, but you get that increase to the card if you come into a certain scenario against it. It's a simple fact that you could run. You have your 3 standard buff removal, but then you can include so much more buff removal the game has now that potential could risk it going into a buffless aggro archetype to avoid all of this. So that's my only fear on it, but I do like the design of this card. I do like the design of this card where you have to have a family buff out to remove a buff. Yeah, I don't know. I just think there needs to be something to wean back all these secondary buff removals as well. Like I always thought like a limited or unique way of doing this in the game, and I know I talk about this card a lot, and I do apologize, I'm ranting now. But that kind of keyword should be implemented, which is kind of what we got in Classic. The Classic format for Physical is that the banned cards were now restricted down to 1 copy of each. I think that the game would be very cool to have cards like this that are restricted or limited to 1 copy per deck. I think that would be really cool, because you don't necessarily need 3 Duskblade Mercenaries. If it doesn't have burn, you can bring it back and use it again. You just need 1. And then you can reutilize it several times if you want to, or you can save it for that one opportune time. That if you gave it something like limited or, restricted, or however you wanted to do it, I always thought the unique keyword should have been 1 copy per deck, but unique is for the board state, which is fine. Now you do need 3 of them. I don't think so, because if you have 3 of them, that really limits your opponent. Say, well, why not just run buffless aggro? That's my thing. Is that I do think that putting that kind of on these secondary buff removals, so that you can only have 1 copy of the card per deck, and then not giving them burn, so that if you want to bring them back, you can. I think it would be fine. In my opinion, it would be fine. It would help with deck construction. I loved the classic format when you can only include one copies of certain cards to really benefit of which cards you want to include, how to balance out your deck party like that. That having the family buff removals be a limited or restricted keyword on them, I think will be a fine answer to that, where you just, because then I can include explosive in here and put blast bots in there, and I have blast bots. I'd have Duskblade Mercenary. I'd have whatever I wanted. Mind you, I'd have to have some buffs in there to do it with. But like I could have a whole bunch of buff removal, and then we want to go back into the stage where it's like, well, now I don't want to play buffs, and I'll just blow this deck out of the water. No, yeah, it's not a card you put in every deck. Like I said, this card will really shine in a deck that has multiple families in it. If it just has one family, you're not going to run Duskblade Mercenary. You're not going to run Duskblade Mercenary at all. Odrak, yeah. In Odrak, you have Undead, you have Insect, you have Locations, you have Beasts, you have Creebles, alone just in his archetype. Like, there's a lot of things you can run with the Duskblade Mercenary to remove a lot of families. Elemental, yeah. But yeah, Duskblade Mercenary is going to be a powerful card. And that's why I'm like, these family restricted or even cards like this, I'd be okay with just including one of in the deck. And then if you want to utilize it more, you can find ways to bring it back or do whatever you want. But then you save it for specific specific occasions. And you don't just always include 3. That's a dream I hope to have. A dream I would love to see. But until then, this card is nuts. I love this card. It's so good. It's so good. On to the next one. Replenish the Soul. Once again, self-mill archetype. Can we just look at this card real quick? 6 healing for 3 soul. Love it, okay? But then you and your target draw 3 cards, and you gain 2 additional actions. So once again, I'm essentially milling myself for 3, but I'm getting the cards in my hand. And then I get 2 additional actions. For 3 soul. Yes, please. I really like this one. We've had 2 soul buffs in the past. Spiritual Turmoil, which was an okay one, and then the Oaken Symbiosis, which was almost never seen in play. Draw 6 with Restful Soul. Like, there's so much soul that just empties your deck entirely. Now. It just empties your deck entirely. Draw 6 by playing it and passing. Yeah. Yeah, draw 6, your opponent draws 3, you heal for 6. Replenish the Soul. It's really good. It's really good. It fits well into the new Mythic hero that we just got. It's a really good combo for her. It fits really well into the self-mill archetype. It fits really well into that. It fits really well into Zelina. Hey, I'm going to make you draw 3 cards with my my roaming zombie out. Okay, cool, you just took 6 damage. And now I have 2 actions to do whatever I want. And I just drew 3 cards. Hey, I can Ashwood Diva. Cool. Like, there's a lot of things that Replenish the Soul can do really well, solely because it not only fills your hand back up for 3 cards, which you just paid 3, but then it gets you 2 additional actions to do it with. I think this is a really good combo. I think this is actually going to see quite a bit of play in certain decks, not every deck, but in decks that I'm thinking about, in my self-mill archetype, in my Zelina you hurt when you draw archetype. This is going to be really fun. In the new just standard mill with the new Mythic hero that we got, I think this is going to be a really good combo for her. This is just, it's a solid combo. It's a defend, heal for 6, you both draw 3, but then you get 2 additional actions, so you didn't technically waste your turn. And then you get to draw a card at the end of your turn because you had a combo. I think it's really good. It's really difficult to pay because obviously Soul is something you want to be playing, but there's ways around that. And I love it. I love it to death. We're going to go with the 7 streak. I don't know. You guys ready for the next one? Here's your Cecilia, by the way. Not as good in my opinion as the last one. When you play 2 animal cards in one turn, heal yourself for 1. It can be increased by effects. It can be increased by FX. Mud, how many did you have? I thought you had 7. No, Mud only had 6. Did they not give you a third Astral card, dude? I would talk to them, because you should have gotten a third Astral card. You should have gotten a third Astral card. You should have had 7 to reveal. I would still talk to him because they might have forgot, and in which case we don't get a card until the set reveals. I would still mention it to him. Even if it's not a big deal, I would still mention it because there's one card floating out there that we should have, and we may not until the game actually comes out. But, yeah. First of all, this art is really awesome. This art is a very cool balance. Cecilia looks extremely estranged. And then her ability, when you play 2 animal cards in a turn, heal yourself for 1. I think the fact that it can be increased right there in its own is really good. So when you play 2 animal cards, which are usually mostly aggressive, you can heal yourself and get a nice little bonus. It's kind of how, what is it, Darkleaf, whenever you pass and draw 2, you heal yourself for 1. It's kind of like that. He's very defensive, very slow. She's very aggressive and also heals herself. She's so estranged, she dropped in rarity. Well, her ability changed as well. But I like the change. It doesn't make her a powerhouse. We don't have too many animal superior heroes that are not insect specific, which is really nice to have. So having an animal superior hero with a good ability in my mind, I think I'd still use the OG Cecilia over this. What is her new ability, though? What is her new ability? Oh, with Drinking Hole. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, with Drinking Hole, you heal every time you lay a beast card. And then you lay 2 animal beast cards, you heal for 3. What's the new Cecilia ability? Can someone remind me what her new ability is? Because the OG Cecilia was discard a card, heal for 4. And you could use it with an empty hand. And it was ridiculous. When one of your beast buffs expires, deal 1 damage to your target. That's what the new one is. Which, yeah, I mean, when it expires, it deals damage. So she's very more aggressive. Which is really weird because this one looks much more aggressive than the original Cecilia. Like, I would almost want the abilities swapped between the two to fit the art. Because this one is very defensive and she looks very angry. Whereas the other one looks very defensive and her ability is very offensive. So, like, the art needs to be switched or the abilities do, I think, with these 2 Cecilias. They feel very out of place. This one looks like it's trying to cling to life. Yeah, here's the new updated Cecilia. Her art looks very passive, but her ability is very aggressive. And then you come in here and look at this. She looks very scary and offensive, and her ability is very defensive. So, like, I feel like the abilities need to be swapped on the heroes because they feel out of place compared to the art and the names. To me, they feel out of place. You know what I mean? They feel out of place with the ability. Honestly, I don't like Cecilia Estranged, but if her ability was OG Cecilia, I'd probably like it just because it's less gloomy. Yeah, that the bird in her original photo is now this new bird, which is like, let me look up the definition because I don't want to go ahead and just make something up. Estranged is no longer close to or affectionate to someone. So she's like, almost grown distant from nature. She's like, if you were really close to someone in the beginning, yeah, and then you didn't talk to him for a while, you guys become estranged. So like she's become almost estranged with nature, but yet she's healing herself, which like gets really confusing. I'm holding on to yes. What am I holding on to? What are we doing? I would assume that it only triggers on the second animal card you lay. Because otherwise it would say if you play more than one animal card, heal. But it's only if you play two animal cards. And then if you play a third one, it wouldn't be the second one. So I would assume that it only triggers once. Yeah, does DAG do it? Because DAG is when you play two explosives, it deals an additional damage. That's a very good way of putting it, Mud. That's a very good way of putting it. I don't know, maybe. Maybe it can trigger more than once and you can lay 3 beasts and heal yourself for 2. I don't know. But yeah, either way, I think the abilities, they need to be switched based on the names and the art. The abilities just feel out of place for both of them. To me, they do. I could be the only one. They feel out of place. Because if she's estranged, why is she getting a benefit instead of being more aggressive? I don't know. Oh. Well, guys, that's 7 cards. 7 cards. But wait, there's more! Husky and Tubbs. The new mythic hero for for nature and tech. I know, I got you, man. I got you guys. So good. You were like, oh, 7 cards. That's so cool. All right, I'll leave the stream. Whoa, wait, what? We have an 8th? After one of your beast buffs has entered play and applied its effects, you may rotate it 1 step forward. What? Dude, check out that ability! Right? Oh, look at all those beast buffs getting rotated really quick. Time Worm instantly comes to mind. Yes. Corrosive Conspiracy instantly rotates to the 3 damage. Yes. There's so much things that can be instantly rotated with beasts. Beast Caller. Beast Caller. Oh my. I gotta go into the cards now. When a beast buff your enemy controls expires, draw a card. Yeah! Beast Caller with this. Getting all this stuff. We finally have a nature hero, or a hybrid hero that runs with beasts that has forest. There's been so many really cool forest bonus things to go with it. Like that one insect card. If your top card is a beast buff, put it back into play. And it's whenever one of your beast buffs has entered play. Not when you play it, when it's entered play. So you can use that insect to bring your beast buff back, and then it comes into play and rotates. Can we get a zoom in on the art? Maybe. Let me just see if I can find... because I might have just grabbed a bad image. Let me see if I can do something real quick here. Here, I'll just do this. There's a better image of the art. I grabbed a bad image. That was my bad. Just go ahead and... Yeah, this guy looks really cool. At first glance, I was like, oh, okay, so maybe he works with Kriebel. Nope. He's all about them beasts, man. All about them beasts. I am super excited about this guy. I gotta look just to see what kind of tech beast buffs in time there are. Because I know, like you said, Time Worm comes to mind. Time Worm right now is the only beast buff. Time Worm right now is the only beast buff. The Ladybug? What Ladybug? There's probably some new time cards that we got recently. Yeah, as of right now, until the new set comes out. Oh, the Ladybug in the art, right? It's so cute. But yeah, mind you, this art is really cool. It has depth in the image, the nice color contrasting to really highlight it. It shows the two people. He's obviously the time guy. This guy's the beast guy. Like, Bone Chewer and Warp Toad. Yeah, but those aren't buffs, so they wouldn't really affect this. Yeah, as far as right now, unless we look at the new set, which I haven't gone actually that far through to see what the new set is, if there's been any time beast cards. But there's a lot of way to rotate your stuff backwards with time and all that other stuff that this is just... I think they're both Creeble. Tubbs looks like a Creeble. Way to go. All right? Yep. Yeah, I think they're both Creebles. But yeah, I haven't actually gone through and looked at all the time cards to see if we got any new time insects or time beasts. I'm not sure if we actually have. I am not sure if any of the time cards we've gotten have been beast. I'm seeing robots, and that's about it. Yeah, I don't think we got any new time beasts yet. But with time being able to manipulate just the graveyard alone and everything, and the rotation of buffs, I think the time being supplemental after Time Worm, of course, this still is a really strong ability to be able to rotate our beast buffs forward really quick, get them expired with Beast Caller to draw cards, use the insect one. I gotta find the name now. I've been saying insect card, and that's not... What's the defend insect for 4, or not beast, insect. The Canopy Creeper. Canopy Creeper. Yeah, Clockwork Construct, Canopy Creepers, all this stuff to really just bring back our graveyard and you reuse it again is insane. That I think Husky and Tubbs is really strong. It's really strong. I'd have to go back and look at what's the one we just got that allows nature to remove buffs or remove items. What's that one we just got? Oh, Creeping Vines. Creeping Vines is Forest and Soul, so we can't run it in this deck. But yeah, Clockwork Construct, we'll put it into play and then it'll rotate. Hyper Rewind can instantly rotate 2 Corvids to its final corner. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Hyper Rewind with this, they come into play, they rotate 1 quarter past, then Hyper Rewind rotates them twice. You can Vicious Scalefang into an immediate Mossfoot Beast Tamer. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Like, there's a lot of really fun, just instant spike turns that Husky and Tubbs has. And I think it's awesome. I think it's phenomenal to see that. And then if you want to, you could also splice in some other, like Astral. You could splice into Gravity and really utilize some of the Beast stuff for Gravity. You could do a lot of fun things with Husky and Tubbs. I really like this hero. I think it's gonna have a really fun Beast style archetype. I loved Fairpang in the beginning. Fairpang was my boy. I brought that thing to a tournament, did really well with it. Made Beasts be feared, and I think Husky and Tubbs is gonna do the same thing that Fairpang did for Beasts, where it's gonna make them like just insane. You can splash in Soul, yeah, you can do that too. Run some amazing Soul cards. But yeah, there's just a lot of really fun things that you can do. And then mind you, there's Terraform fits really well with this. There's just a lot of fun things. The trying to think, Overseer Tuskrage was the last hybrid of these two colors, and he was really difficult to get going. Really just wanted to lay attack cards and do nothing else. Didn't want to utilize his forest buff thing. This guy's ability is so strong. It's gonna make the deck. It's gonna be so good. But yeah, Husky and Tubbs, this is amazing. This is an amazing mythic that we got, along with the other three that we've gotten so far. So I think we're still missing 2 mythics, if I'm not mistaken, because they said we're getting 6. Did they say we're getting 6, or am I just making that up? So we're still missing 2 more mythics. But I am in love with this. I think this is awesome. This is amazing, and I love it so much. So much, man. All right, guys, I will have these posted shortly. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. When we come back, we are going to watch some amazing online Lightseekers games, starting with... Oh, Lord, where do we start? Fatal Zeph's Week 5 into Week 6. We have so many games to cover today. So many games to cover today. So when I come back from my bathroom break, we will start going on those lickety split, because we only have about 2 hours left, and I don't want to waste any more time. So hang with me, guys. I'll be right back.